Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Shirley Talk TV. My name is Kellye Duckworth, and I'm here with Miss Katie. She is battling breast cancer, right?
Yes.
So she's going to tell us a little bit about her cancer journey, kind of how she found out, her signs and symptoms. Obviously, last month, October, was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. She's not very old, as you all can see that here. So I'm kind of interested to kind of hear how she found out about it. So start wherever you want to start.
I guess probably was it June? I had was having some other female issues and had been going there for a long time, and I was on birth control at an IUD, and we had that taken out, and we were still having issues and with other stuff, and so it was like as soon as she took that out, about 3 weeks after, I found a small lump, and within a week and a half, it was the size of a baseball.
A week and a half?
Yes, it just grew really, really big. And
that was just a self-exam in the shower? What?
Yeah, like putting the bra on and felt it, and I was like, oh. And so I had been checked the month prior with my OBGYN, and she, everything was fine. And so I called them and told them that I had it and that it was the size of a baseball, and they had just seen me a couple days prior. I had forgotten to tell them about it. Other things going on, I forgot. So they got me in. It was the beginning of July, and she goes in and checks it, and it was painful, and she told me that normally breast cancer isn't painful and that it doesn't grow that fast. So she figured it was probably from the IUD taking it out, and that we should probably wait a week or a month to see if it went down. And they scheduled me with a doctor at U of L. They scheduled it, said, it would probably have to be drained, but they said they were going to go ahead and schedule also a mammogram and an ultrasound. So we scheduled that. It was July 27th is when that was. So I went and I found the lump middle to late June. So I went to the doctor on July 27th in the morning, and I got in there, and they took some images, and then they called me back for more images while I was still there, and then they called me back to do the ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech did the ultrasound, and she told me, she said, well, I'm going to go get the doctor. I'll be right back. I figure she'll probably want to take a couple images. Well, she repeated the whole ultrasound, and she checked underneath. She started measuring underneath my arm, and when she got done, she said, do you want me to be honest? And I said, yes. And she said, I think what you have is called ductal carcinoma in situ, which basically means stage 0, that it's still in the milk ducts. And she said, you have some swollen lymph nodes. I want you to stay and do a biopsy. And I said, my son had another appointment and I couldn't miss. And I said, can I come back another day? She said, can you come back tomorrow morning? We'll squeeze you in. So they got me in on the 28th, and they biopsied one of my lymph nodes, and they biopsied a couple of spots on my breast. And they called me on Friday and told me that it was in fact cancer, but it's now invasive, which means that it goes and it is no longer in the duct. It has spread out. So it wasn't stage 0, and that there was precancer in my lymph nodes. They scheduled me with a breast surgeon and a oncologist. And the breast surgeon, my appointment was on Tuesday. They called me on Monday, and she wanted to see me immediately. So I went in there, and she told me that it was obviously invasive, and that it was what's called estrogen positive, progesterone negative, but it's called HER2 positive, which is a protein that you have in your body already, but it just kind of mutates and decides to, I guess, kill you. And so she said that the tumor, she checked it and everything. She said that I would be what was considered, that the lymph nodes are positive, not precancerous, they are positive, and that she thought that I was about a stage 2B, stage 3. And so she scheduled me for my port, and I went that Friday for my port. and I had to get like other tests done, CT scans and everything to check. Those all come back good. It's not spread anywhere but my lymph nodes.
That's good.
The following week, I had an appointment with the oncologist, and he come in and told me that it's in fact stage 3B, and it's metastatic because it's spread, and that I in fact have to do a double mastectomy, and they take lymph nodes out as well. I have to do chemo, 6 rounds of chemo, which I go for my 5th on Friday, and then I take immunotherapy drugs with that that helps with the HER2. I have to take that also with it.
Which immunotherapy are you on?
Is it Herceptin and look, I brought the paper.
No, I love your paperwork.
Oh,
So official.
It is, what is it? Herceptin.
So I think we've been hearing one. It's like called Sassy. I think that's been a popular immunotherapy for breast cancer.
Oh, we did Herceptin and Perjeta is
Okay.
what it is.
Okay.
And then I take carboplatin and
So you had chemo first, and then now you're trying immunotherapy?
no, so whenever I go on Friday, I take 4 medications. I take 2 immunotherapy and I take 2 chemos bags, along with the pre-meds and everything else that I have to take with that. And I do that every 3 weeks for 6 weeks.
How's the side effects on that?
Horrible.
Are they?
Yeah. A lot of nausea. The side effects that you losing your hair. It causes hearing problems. They say that it's not all the time, but the first couple chemos, it was really hard. It feels like, which I have this on too, but it feels like somebody's holding your ears and people are talking. It is really,
Really?
yeah.
That's a new one.
Vision's kind of hard, like the first week or so. I get severely dehydrated. I have a bag of fluids that they give me the day of chemo now, and then I go 3 days the following week and at least 2 the week after for fluids. It causes my magnesium has been low, my potassium. It messed with my kidneys and liver really bad. They thought they were going to have to change it, my plan, but they got it back. But I have to take 2 of those medications for a whole entire year after my mastectomy. And I also have to take, I have radiation, but I don't know how many I'll have of those.
How's that going?
The radiation, I won't find out how many radiations I have for that, like how many radiations I have to do, because I have not started that until after my mastectomy. They said once they go in and check the path on that, whatever that comes back determines how many of those I have to take. So if they get all the cancer, I'm hoping there's not as many.
When's your mastectomy scheduled?
I actually, on the way up here, scheduled with the breast surgeon to talk about that, because they wouldn't schedule that until chemo in case, they had to change plans or change treatment. So they said after the 5th one that I could. So I went ahead and scheduled it. I go talk to her the 17th, I think, to talk to her to see when it will be. But they say usually about 3 to 4 weeks after. So I'm hoping at the end, like the last week of December.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back a little bit. So you go in June and have your primary or your OBGYN looks at you. Do you think if she would have not waited that extra month?
She said, the breast surgeon said that mine was extremely aggressive. It's 90% estrogen positive. So meaning it feeds off of the estrogen. So it's almost, they said the HER2 positive causes it to be really, extremely aggressive too. So she said that she thinks that I had to have had, with not even knowing that I had a lump, since May.
Wow.
So could it have been maybe not as bad? Hopefully, maybe it wouldn't have been in the lymph nodes, but
can't go back now, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're going through your treatments now. And then we mentioned earlier, because you're only 35,
Yep.
right?
I found it when I was 34.
Yeah. But I mean, if you wouldn't have found your lump, you're not scheduled for a mammogram until you're 40, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah,
and that's what we've talked
yeah.
about before. We have got to change that. I don't know what. I mean, do you have any history of breast cancer in your family?
Yes. So my grandma had breast cancer, but she was 60.
Oh, so she's older when she found out.
Yes, she was, and then after I found mine and found out it was breast cancer, found out that my aunt, my mom's sister, had it, and she just recently had it. So, I mean, that's two people.
Right.
I know they say like they don't want to do mammograms due to young women having dense breast tissue, but an ultrasound always.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Wow. So we like to talk a lot about insurance. How's that been for you so far? I mean, have they been giving you a hard time or?
I had asked because you normally hear somebody getting a PET scan whenever they have cancer, but I did not. I did the CT of my chest, abdomen, and pelvis, and then I also went what's called a bone scan. They give you an IV and they shoot you with radioactive calcium, and then I guess it goes to whatever spots that you have that could be cancer, or they said if you had a bone broken, it would show up with that and things like that. They said that they really do that now. PET scan, they have a hard time getting insurance to pay for it. But insurance has been pretty good. I've heard horror stories of people having to change their treatment. They wouldn't want to give, but they were really good. They gave the treatments that they had suggested is what I've been on. And
your mastectomy, is that going to be covered, or is that?
Yeah, so the insurance covers the mastectomy. It actually covers a wig if you want to wear a wig. It covers because after my mastectomy, a lot of women go in and get what's put expanders in, and they will, due to me having radiation and them saying that it kind of sometimes burns and things like that, I will go straight to not having any breast. And they said probably for a year. So they provide, I think, at least one bra to cover for that, and to have like silicone fake ones that you can have so you can go out in public and,
Well, that's pretty good. I didn't know that, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
And then, so have you been able to work during all this? I mean, are you so sick that you?
Well, I don't work. My husband works. I actually have 6 kids. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, you look great for 6 kids.
Thank you. Ranging from 18 on Monday to 4.
Wow.
So yeah, I usually run with them and everything like that. But usually the first week and a half is pretty bad.
After chemo?
So the Friday I'll have chemo, and then I'll feel kind of tired, dizzy, that type of stuff. And then Saturday I go, and about 24 to 27 hours after my chemo, I go and get a shot, a new Neulasta shot that boosts my white cell count. It causes bone pain. So for 3 or 4 days after that, the bone pain and stuff. So getting up and wanting to do stuff is kind of rough.
Take it easy at home and things.
And then you don't want to eat or drink. Everything tastes bad. So then you're kind of weak and everything. So once fluids start to hit and stuff, that's why I get so much fluids too, that it helps out. And by about the middle of the second week, I'm usually pretty good. And then this week I get a lot of running done and everything like that, and pick up the house and laundry and everything. And then Friday, then it starts all over. So
wow.
Yep.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say a mom to 6 kids, that's a full-time job in itself.
Oh yeah.
Taking care of the house and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've said it 100 times. If you are at home and I think they say like the week after your monthly cycle or something like that, you're supposed to do your self-exam. So check for lumps and things like that. But somehow, we have to get this stigma of mammograms at 40, especially if you have family history.
Yeah, and genetic testing.
And genetic testing. Do you have any girls?
I do. I have 1 girl and 5 boys.
Wow.
Thank
She's
goodness. Oh, she's she hates it. She wants a sister.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But they, I mean, genetic testing. They did. It's hard to get genetic testing too. I actually had to be screened to see if I could get genetic testing done. But I got it done for everything, not just breast cancer, and mine's not genetic. So,
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So she's okay there.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to give you a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
You know, she's taken care of. Well, I told a little bit of a fib. I got you in here because I wanted to hear your story and we wanted to get that out there. But Melissa actually sent me your information. And it's not as much as we'd hoped, but we wanted to give you a $500 check today, just to kind of ease some of that pain, give you a little bit of stress relief. I know you got a lot going on, but this was kind of our way to give back to you.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Choking you up a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
So, yeah, she sent it in for you, but we appreciate you coming in here, especially being sick and during COVID and stuff. I know it's scary, but
Oh, yeah.
we wish we could do more, but hopefully it helps you out.
It will, especially with Christmas and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
especially with Christmas. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. We'll have plenty more of these on our YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe. Thank you.